So la 27e Région, since its inception, the goal of la 27e Région is to play the role of public transformation lab. To this end, it mobilizes the capabilities of multidisciplinary teams composed of designers, idea generators, and social scientists from many fields, ethnography, sociology, participant observation, and engages in ground-level actions, do-it-yourself projects, adult education actions, etc. Both these approaches prioritize the concrete experience of users, civil servants, and citizens to serve as the starting point for re-examining public policy. The work of la 27e Région is twofold. It conducts action research programs to prototype new methods for designing and implementing public policies by engaging in experiments in the field. La 27e Région is also a resource center set up to build and pool knowledge and know-how and to encourage peer-to-peer interchanges in the public sector. And today we have with us Stéphane Vincent, who is the founder and director of la 27e Région. So a concept suggested in the collective work, the digital challenge of territories, reinventing public sector, published in March 2007. He joined a think tank called New Generation Internet Foundation in March 2008. After 6 years in charge of the innovation policies in the Limousin regional government, and 7 years as a consultant and managing partner in Proposition, a consultancy working with administrations, ministries, and local authorities. He is a German Marshall Fund Fellow, 2005. So thank you again, Stéphane, for making the time to do this inspirational talk, and I hand over to you.
Thank you so much. So when I met for the very first time Yon and Nayara a few months ago, they told me about the great project that you're launching. And it reminded me of a program that we have launched a few years ago called Territory in Residences. And one of the goals of this program was to build a co-creation movement here in France. It was not as ambitious as yours, like launching research and development community, but I think there are some insight and something that we did in this program that might interest you. I hope so. So it's a bit weird to speak about a program who is over, but I think there are things that could be interesting. I won't be long on the presentation because you said the principal things about us. We are a non-profit, which means that we don't answer to procurement or calls, or we don't work as like a consultancy. We build our own programs. As you said, our main goal is to contribute to transform public sector here in France, which is an impossible task. And we mainly work for local government. So sometimes we work for the national state, but most of the time we work for cities, regional governments, counties, and this kind of thing. We are a small team, and it's a part of a promise we made to a partner to remain something small. But as we have a huge ambition, we need to work with many professionals. So we have built a program of 150 professionals who are sociologists, politicists, designers, urbanists, and so on. We have members, and 40 of them are local government, public administration, and state service. Concretely, they pay 5,000 euros a year to be part of la 27e Région. And you have already described our main activities. I won't be long on that, but we try to nourish new theories of change for the public sector. This is one of the grid that we used in the past, but we are currently building a new ones. But we really want to change the paradigm of public sector culture. I will go straight to the point and made a presentation of a case that we have run a few years ago. It was about the future of small railway stations here in France. Maybe you know the big stations in Paris, like Gare de Lyon or or maybe closer to you in Bordeaux or Biarritz. But the reality is that here we got something like 2,000 medium or very small stations who are closing, progressively closing. And of course, this is a problem because in terms of local mobility in rural areas, for instance. So the case I will present was based on a partnership between la 27e Région, the regional government of Bretagne. Bretagne is a region in northwest with cities like Rennes or Brest, etc. And there was also another partner which is called Gare and Connexion, which is the national company in charge of railway stations. So it was former SNCF, so it's a national company in charge of railway station. And we have launched a research, an action research about small and isolated railway station to try to see what we can do with that. In the first time, we found a ground, which was Montfort. Montfort is a city where there is a small railway station, which is on the same line than the city of Rennes, and which is very typical of this small station who have low activities, maybe just a few trains every day. So they are decreasing activities in this railway station. And the method is based on 3 weeks. The first week, we came as a team, as a cross-disciplinary team of sociologists and designers. The woman you can see here is Laura. She's a service designer. And she will spend with the team 1 week. And this week will be used as a week for observation and data collection. So we will spend time. She will not sleep in the railway station, but she will sleep in the hotel beside the railway station and observe what's going on in the station. So concretely, she will observe practices, what's going on there, what are the services, what are the initiatives. The team will also learn about the management and the working days of people here. What are the people doing? What is their work, on their daily work? She will build something like the user journey of workers in the railway station. She will identify initiatives on the IDs. They will take picture and collect user experience, like people who have their own use of parking and this kind of thing. And progressively, in the same week, the team will build. I'm sorry because it's in French, but I'm sure you can imagine what it is. It's a kind of map where we map all the different ideas that came from these observation and the different positioning of the.
Stéphane, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. We've been trying to sort it out here, but we only see your first line. So we've been seeing. Yeah, we are very sorry, but we haven't seen. Now we see. Yeah.
Oh.
Now.
Okay, maybe I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
this is.
Yeah. I don't know if you can put it in presentation mode. If that's possible, presentation mode.
I can do it. But
yeah.
And does it change now?
So it's searching, I think. We still can see the. No. So
because I'm changing slide, but you don't see them changing. That's it.
No. And now
So maybe I suggest that we use it like this.
Okay. So we see it that way. Yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's changing. Yeah.
So this is what you see on the screen is Laura, our service designer, and she's arriving in this station, and she will spend one week observing and collecting data, such as I said, observing on the wall there are announcements for co-working activities or whatever. They will spend time questioning the people working in the railway station and so on. So it's a week for data collection. At the end of the week, the team will build a kind of map where she position the problems that you have seen in the station, and together with the users of the railway station and the people working there, they will produce ideas. They will produce ideas of possible solution or opportunities. And what you see on the map here is a series of ideas, notably in yellow. And the idea is that they will transform this idea into scenarios, into hypotheses. So that's what they do on week 1. On week 2, they will grab all the best ideas that came from week 1, and the most interesting will be transformed into tests, into rapid prototyping, for instance. What you see on the screen here is the scenario, the hypothesis of a library, of a new library that could be a way to develop activities in the railway station. So it's very common in such methodology to use rapid prototyping as a way to test if an idea was just a good idea when we talk about it, or if it makes sense when we really test it. Another idea came, such as it's a small station where there is no food, where there is nothing. So what does it make when you create a moment with the people at 8 in the morning when it's cold and dark, and you grab some food and share some coffee and tea with the people? What does it change? What kind of opportunities does it give? There is also a big issue with the management of the parking, the space management around the. Most of the time, these railway stations are turned into the direction of railway, but there is no train anymore. There are more buses. So how do you reframe the railway station in the direction of buses and the parking instead of just the railway itself? So it's also trying new signs, because there is for instance, there is a bike road, but nobody knows it. And what does it make to introduce new signs and new direction information for people? It's also, how do you make sure that people are informed when there is a strike, because there are many strikes in France, as you know, or if there is a problem with a train who has some delay. How can we bring some information? And for instance, would it make sense to introduce a camera and a video conferencing system with the people? So all these things are tests, and at the end of the process, we publish open source documentation, because we want to capitalize and bring and keep data from the process and from what we have found. So there is a blog where we publish all this. And the week 3 is the week for strategic recommendation and future scenarios. So, for instance, what you see on the screen is a drawing, is an attempt to illustrate what the future railway station could look like if we want this station to be user-centered, human-centered, to introduce new services. And they have published a series of maps like this one. And just as a conclusion for my presentation of this case, all this drawing, all this proposition became the new grid for the region and the national operator of the national company for. So now this is the kind of grid they use when they renew railway station, or where they build new ones in a more human-centered way. So this is very typical of. What I've just presented was we call it residence, and it was part of a program called Territory in Residences. And this program, or the goal of this program, was to ask and to try to answer this question: is co-design fit for tackling public problems? And we have done this residence in a railway station, but we've done 90 other residencies on many topics. Maybe I can stop now and have a first conversation. I will tell you more about the methodology, about the way we do it, about the cost of it, about how it helps us to create community of designers and such things. But maybe we can stop just now and have a conversation between 5 minutes if there are questions. What you see on the screen here is the kind of topic that we have tackled with residencies and the city where we did it. Is there any question, or
Yeah.
I can stop sharing my.
We might open a little bit of time for reflection. So, galderari bauka norbaitek hausnarketaren bat edo parte hartu nahi duzue? Norbaite galderak. Bai? Ah, ni, bai. Bai, badago piztuta.
Merci Stéphane. Bonjour.
Merci, bonjour.
Euskeraz egingo dut galdera. Eskerrik asko zure aurkezpenagatik, ezagutzen genuen pixkat programa hori. Aipatu duzu arazo publikoen kodiseinua, ezta, dela egiten duzuena. Neri burura etortzen zaizkidan galderak edo erronkak, eta horiei buruz galdetu nahi dizut. Nola lortzen duzue alde publikoaren implikazioa? Esperimentu horietatik, prototipo horietatik ateratzen diren gomendioak jarraitzeko adibidez, edo zein izan dira zuen esperientzian prozesu horien erronka handienak. Izan da kosorkuntza herritarrekin, izan da gobernantza erronkak dira handiagoak?
I had just the end of the translation, so your question was about the output of the residents, that's it?
Nola gehiago prozesu horietan, residence proiektu horietan, zein dira zure ustetan izan dituzuen erronka handienak, izan gobernantza ikuspuntutik, adibidez, alde publikoaren implikazioa erronka izan da, gomendio horiek jarraitzeko eta diseinu horiek aurrera eramateko, kosorkuntza herritarrekin hori izan da erronka, zein da zure ikuspuntua?
Okay, I see. A few minutes later, I will give you the prerequisites and the criteria of success that we have found progressively. Because when we started residencies, we had many failures. And some of the reason of the failure was what you said is a level of engagement of civil servants which was too low. We were doing the residencies, but we had many difficulties to engage them in the process. And the main reason why we do that is them. So if they are not part of the process, it doesn't work. So progressively, we have built a grid of criteria. Maybe I can show you this grid and share again my screen, because I think it will be a better answer. Okay, you see my screen, for instance. Okay, what we discovered after 5 or 6 residencies is that, as you suggested, it's very difficult to do this kind of co-design process. So they are prerequisite, and we even get them sign a contract to make sure that they understand this prerequisite. So one was only do that when civil servants and elected officials are happy with it. Don't do this if they say, oh, co-design, what is it? We don't like it. Or if there are any reason why they are not happy to do it. So you start with enthusiastic people or people who are curious enough and that will be involved in the process and say, yeah, we will be part of it. So don't do it when they are reluctant or not curious enough. The second prerequisite is don't do it if people are not happy with questioning the diagnosis. we met many governments who came with the solution, and our process make no sense to if we can't question the diagnosis. So you got to check with them and test them and see if they are really ready to question the diagnosis and not just their solution. 3 is that we realized that it was not so easy for them to accept that we work with citizens. Because you got sometime a mayor saying, no, don't speak with my citizen. It's my citizen. I'm the mayor. So we really make sure before doing residencies that they are happy with the idea that we will work not for users, but with users, and also non-users, because the idea is to transform non-users into users. So if they are not happy with that, don't do it. The 4th point is don't do it if there is no chance for opportunities of or investment afterwards. Sometimes there are many interesting projects, very enthusiastic, but one day you realize that there is no budget for changing things, for investing afterwards. So you will do a very interesting co-design process, but nothing will happen afterwards. So it's really tricky and don't go there. So check before as much as you can do if there is a risk that they do nothing with the co-design process. 5 is it's a bit strange to say that, but prefer complex challenge that require cooperation that challenge that are very isolated in a silo. What co-design is good at is tackling issues where there is we need transportation issues, social issues, cultural development, and whatever. And because it's user-centered method, it will bring more interesting results. If people have very specific problems and it's only a matter of, I don't know, but anyway, prefer cross cooperation and complex challenge. And 6 would be make sure that they're happy with the fact that we will document and publish and that there is no censorship, especially when you publish blogs about the process. If they are not happy and say, oh no, we don't want you to publish what's going on. But as a researcher, you need to document what you're doing and you wanted to make it open. There is a problem. So these are 6 prerequisites that we are fine, but probably there are other depending on the problem. Did I answer to your request?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you very much. That was clear.